What's up, fam? How y'all doing, man? It's your boy M's, man. This is the M's in the Grid channel. I just want to let y'all know that this is going to be probably a long one. And I understand if you got to cut out early. Literally at another crossroads, like how I was when I made that first video. And it's not a big deal in the scope of things, like in the scope of the ongoings of the world. But I'm in that same heart and mind space that I was when I made that video about leaving my job 3 years ago, where it's like it's one or the other. We have these forks in the roads in our life. And so I just wanted to share with y'all because I don't know where this is going to go. I view myself as a potential cautionary tale. I'm an example of what it is for the average person to go through these things. Not talking about these super achievers that like are able to like blaze away, and I'm pretty much the average person. I think I'm a good reflection of that in terms of like how the average person's heart and feelings in this matrix is. So before I get too far off into, la la land, I want to just set the groundwork, right? And just talk about some real things. So what's happening is, as I've updated y'all, I've tried a few things in the last 3 years to see if I can sustain myself. And long story short, to just so you know the point of this video, I'm looking at having to potentially go back to working. And I've been wrestling with this and trying to find ways, especially in the last year and a half to two. And I got things to do. I made that video, I quit my job, and it went viral in my eyes. It might not be viral in your eyes, but I got, I think, to date about 7,000 views. And a lot of people have reached out to me, talked to me, and tried to send their support. And believe it or not, I only got 100 followers, but I got a lot of comments. Those things push me. Like when I have been ready to give up and just head back into the slave line, I'm like, I got to do this. I wanted to be an example of someone who grabbed life by the balls and tried to, is tired of the trap, the rat race of doing a 9 to 5 jobs. Now, I want to preface a few things. I mean, no disrespect to anyone who has a straight gig, a 9 to 5, working hard, making your money, paying your bills, taking care of your families, because that's what I've been doing. I want to let y'all know. I know you're going to be like, get the fuck out of here. I'm 42 years old. I've been in the workforce since I was 16. So, again, I'm not someone that's just like a lazy schlub, right? I want to give y'all a little bit of my background so that you can say, okay, well, this is somebody that I can relate to, not just some lazy fucker that doesn't want to work. I've been working since, when you get, I don't know if they still do that now, but you had this little card that allowed you to work way back in fucking 92 when I was 14, and you were underage, but if you had this little green thing, it was like an underage worker's permit that would allow you to work. And I started working from then, 16. I've had a lot of odd jobs. Let me tell you some of the jobs that I've worked. I've worked in corporate America. I've been a banker. I worked for a multi-million-dollar company. Some of y'all could figure it out from that first video. I was a technician who worked himself up to what would be considered a business class tech, more money, more sophisticated equipment. I could go down the list. I've had a long, varied uh, resume. I've done sales. I've done, I think, over like 8 years of sales. I've had some management experience at a restaurant. I've done work. Like, you understand? So that what you're looking at is not somebody who's just talking out the ass. I've been working for a very long time. So what happened to me is what happens to a lot of people who get sold the idea that if you work hard and come through the ranks and level up, you too can attain the American dream. And I'm not here to tell you that you can't. I'm just telling you that there's a funnel. There's a funnel system. Funnels go down, not up. There's a funnel system where there are a lot of people on the top trying to get the American dream, and they're funneled through what I would call blocks that the average person will not get through to. Now, I want to make this clear. We have a sentiment, especially in these United States of America, of stop complaining, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, do what you got to do. And I do respect that, and I am that. But also, it's at a toxic level where a lot of us are a little bit neurotic because we see these few examples and we're trying to be like these examples. What am I talking about? So I'll give you some quick examples and then I'll continue with my point. Remember, I said this is going to be long, so if you gotta click out, I understand. So the average citizen, all of us, hardworking individuals, the majority of us take care of our families, do stuff, and then we come home, we watch TV, and we see the one-offs. And the one-offs are what's dangled in front of us so that we can go out there and damn near kill ourselves. Here's some examples. A job that in sports is a perfect metaphor for how life is. So you have football and basketball players. Tons and tons and tons of good football and basketball players. In 52 states, you would probably find maybe 1,000 or more. Mosquito's gonna get my ass. I don't even know the number, but I would say 1,000 is in each state is lowballing it, of talent that could potentially make it to the NBA. And we know that there's only about 300 or 500 players in the NBA, right? So you have about 52 states. If it's lowballing 1,000, you have about 52,000 players in the country, maybe. I'm just rounding, right? That could potentially go to the NBA with 300 slots. Y'all can see where the ratio is skewed. And so it's like this in the workplace. I did get bit by a mosquito. I gotta turn the car on and turn the AC on. And so you have the same thing in the job market and in the capitalist market and in just basically anything that has to do with attaining wealth, riches, just for some of us, just a basic way to secure our livelihood. It's a funnel system. The top paying positions in a job are usually 2 or 3, right? Management or managerial or logistics or HR, and that might be 30, 40 people. And then the company will have like 500 employees, and it's dangled in front of you, right? Now, I am not here to, again, I'm reiterating this, tell you to stop working hard and going for it. But I'm telling you that I'm somebody who, for a large percentage of their life, bought into that dream of working hard to climb the corporate ladder to see if we can get what's dangled on top. And I've done it a little bit. I didn't say first of all, I hate management. Not that I hate managers. I hate the position. It's a false sense of power, and a lot of you guys that get into these positions, I've seen In my workings, I've seen people that I've been co-workers get promoted to management and then turn power, like this weird, stupid power that's given to them, turn into absolute complete weirdos because it's demanded. It's not even their fault sometimes. So what I'm saying about that is, I said all of that to say that I have participated in the rat race for a very long time, and the corporate structure is something that, as I grew older, started to get sick and tired of. And every avenue that I have tried to go and make money, and I've tried a lot, and I'm gonna list some more, I see a pattern here, right? I see a scope of a control mechanism that drives us absolutely insane. And I've been unwilling to go back to that since I have quit my job. It's why I quit my job, because that was my last straw. Let me fill y'all in, because that video, I didn't really tell you what was going on. I told you a little bit. So I was a technician, very notable company. I gave that industry altogether about 12 years of my time. I worked my way up. One company that was farther, I want to speak very carefully so that, hopefully, I don't get sued or anything later down the line. As a technician between two companies, the first one had a major strike. And I had some license issue, and I got released. And that was my fault. My license had gotten either suspended or something, and my insurance lapsed, and I wasn't able to drive, so that was me. But I went through a lot of bullshit over there, in terms of just the everyday goings on. I can't get too specific. Then I went to another company, and I did very well there, and I moved up. And at the end of it, I went on strike there too. I was laid off. Both of these places, I was laid off without making money, and I stood firm, and I did the right thing, if any of y'all know about union politics. And the second time, I needed to make money, and I did not do the right thing, if y'all know what I'm talking about. And so I got promoted, and I was a business class technician, and I didn't let it get to my head, and I was making better money, and I became a lead. I was like the guy that you would call if you needed a specific truck to do certain jobs, right? And I became a team lead, and I would drive guys out. I would they would send people to train with me. So I'm saying all this to you, because I made it, I was very brief on that I did my thing. But I was also at a point in my life where I was just tired of the corporate rat race. I started researching on how to make money outside and become financially independent. And this is the part of the video where I say, I represent the everyday person, because it takes a certain kind of adherence to the capitalistic system for you to be that way. What I learned very quickly is what a lot of people warn you of, and I will warn you that you may have the money to start your own entrepreneurship business. You may have the initial motivation, but what you have to go through to maintain a living from pretty much any industry is so sweaty. It's so sweaty and such a grind and a hustle, more grindier and more hustlier than you think. You hear these things and you're like, yeah, I'm built for it. And especially me, I've worked 2 jobs and gone to school at the same time. I've gone to school and then and then with no sleep, go to work and then go to the gym. Even me, there's a tier above that. Now, in order for you to succeed at these things, you have to dedicate, as they say, 14 to 16 hours a day of grind for most of these hustles where you're coming up from the bottom. So I had money to put into these things. And so I'm not speaking in any kind of like mystical stuff. I did Amazon FBA. I did Craigslist. I tried to do that's FBA, fulfillment by Amazon. I tried to do retail arbitrage. I did phone flipping. I did some other flipping that I saw, and I spent at least, I think, like 2 to 3 to 4 months researching these various things and what I thought is putting enough energy and time into it. And so what do these hustles tell you so that y'all know about the hustle culture? You start listening to Gary Vee. You start listening to Ty Lopez. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. You start listening to Anthony Roberts, and you get into a groove, and your mindset changes. And I had some success. I didn't have enough success to be stable and independent. And so I learned that I'm not speaking for anybody else. I learned that I don't have what it takes. And I'm not saying this as like a self-deprecation, like woe is me. I'm just from observation. I learned, it's about to get dark in here in a little bit. I learned from observation that I understand what a job is about a little bit. It sucks balls. And if you're doing it your whole life, you don't realize that it has one positive. Having a job allows your mind to be lazy and not have to grind in order to be self-sufficient. It's a positive and a negative. You could take it as a offense. I'm not trying to offend you guys at a 9 to 5. But here's what you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about hustling and grinding your ass off so that you can make enough money to cover your living expenses, your rent, if you have a car, if you have a significant other, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, if you have a goddamn family to take, you have to grind. And so after venturing into entrepreneurship, I learned that a lot of people burn out when I start researching it. And it's not all that it's cracked up to be, like people are telling you. And just like the corporate system, it's just another funnel, is what blew my mind. Because each and every hustle that I tried had a scummy bottom level that you had to do weird things in order to move up. Because y'all could tell me that the root of all evil isn't money, it's what people do with money. But this place is inherently skewed towards crab in the barrel. I want to stay away from, I want to be careful, but crab in the barrel type negatively skewed. We're skewed towards the capitalist system breeds scummy behavior. Let me give you some examples. So I did phone flipping. You had phone flipping and you had to be slick with it. The major platforms that you flip phones on, you weren't allowed to post on them. And if y'all did phone flipping, y'all know what I'm talking about. You had to creatively word stuff so that your posts wouldn't get taken out. And I'm like, why would these multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar companies care about me selling it and flipping a phone that no one else is using? And the answer is simple. There's tons of money to be made in it, and the average person could come up, and that's what happened, and somebody pressed the button to say, well, we're going to make it very hard for you. And so an example of how scummy it is this is how it worked so that y'all can understand. I'm telling you this is going to be long, so cut out if you need to. Phone flipping is you buy old people's used phones. You sell them for maybe a third or half of the price. You pay the little that you have to do through Amazon or shipping or what's the other one? eBay. And after that, you recoup the price. So on each phone, you're looking to get anywhere from $30 to $100, right? And I was doing okay initially in the beginning. And then the platforms that I was on was it flags you for everything. If you don't do this, you get flagged. And then if you put it on, if you're trying to advertise, because we know that when you are an entrepreneur, advertising is everything. If you're trying to advertise, then you're going to get flagged on Facebook, because for some reason on Facebook Marketplace you can sell anything on there except for the stuff that's going to make you large amounts of money in bulk. Then when I would do it, you go into these seedy places and there's a lot of weirdos and scumbags, and then in New York you got people trying to set you up and rob you. And I was like, this thing is just dark and heavy and trash. Here I am thinking I could just naively sell phones, and I'm watching these gurus. I bought a course. I spent $600, and the guy's telling me, and then here's the guilt trip on all of these hustles. Oh, if you quit early, it means that you just don't got what it takes to, like, fuck everyone that says that in hustle culture. And again, I preface this video by saying I'm going to be speaking for pretty much all the guys that failed. The everyman. I'm pretty much the everyman who was naive enough to think that these things amount to something for the masses of the people that try it. And so here's what's prevalent in all of these hustles. It's just like the work system, where the money is made by you purchasing all these courses and things, and there's only going to be, if it's 500 people that purchases, there's only going to be like 4 or 5 people. I give it, say it was 50 people that come up and become financially independent off these hustles, because this place is not meant for you to be financially independent. And by this place I mean the world, not earth, the world, the corporate structure, the pyramidal scheme, which I'll make another video. And so all that long description, that's just one of many. I did Amazon FBA. You got Chinese competition that like will undercut your shit because they have so much in stock that you have to lower your prices to so low that you won't even make a cent. But if it's sitting on there for goddamn 6-7 months, and so that whole thing is another. FBA is gonna make you, again, I'm not saying none of these hustles don't work, but you're gonna have to be a sweat if you really want financial freedom. This is the only thing that I will agree with everyone else. You're gonna have to work 13, 14 more times harder. And there are people out there that's not by themselves. They're working together, and around the clock they're doing things to manipulate the business, so you have a way harder time. So to summarize, what I learned quickly was that in doing, and I gave it a good try, I think maybe some of y'all would not, in doing all of these hustles, I learned that this is another funnel system. You have to be a certain type of person, just like you would in a corporate structure, to move up. And if you're not that, then you are going to struggle. And so what I've been doing since then is just gig economy. DoorDash, Uber, Instacart, which is the new thing. I'm so grateful for what it gave me. I am not a negative person that's going to bash it. It's not enough money to live off of. Y'all know that. They're part-time gigs that I started finagling and researching and finding out how you can try to make it into a full-time gig. And so I don't live with my mama. I have a girlfriend. I'm not gonna get too much of my personal business, but we're trying to do things, and it just hasn't been enough. And I've gave it my all. There's been times where I'm like, I'm gonna come out of this. And part of the reason I'm doing this YouTube is to see if anything could come up of it, because I have a personality, some humor, and some good things outside of economics to share with people. And so that's what this video is about. So why I'm here in this car telling you about this is because I now, my back is to the wall. Let me share with y'all, because this channel is just about being 100% transparent. Like, I really don't care. I don't care about any joke. I really don't care. I'm in a situation where the car that I'm in, this is gonna be funny. The car that I'm in right now, I'm having car issues. Right? You see the wrench? Maybe, yeah, let me make sure you can. I got the wrench. Nigga, you see how many lights are on right now that, that are orange? This little squiggly thing, I don't even know what the fuck that is. I've been driving 12, 14, 16-hour days. Not Uber, my own personal car. And I'm out of resources. I have family that helped me. I've been through 3 cars now. One car I had an issue with. I actually got scammed, but that's another story. My beautiful old Acura that I love to death, I literally drove it till the gasket popped the fuck off, and I had to. In the end, it was like what they call it, like a total loss, because I would have needed a new engine. I'd have had to spend like $5,000 on the engine. I didn't have that. I end up selling. I only bought the car for $2,800 at the time. I got it through a deal, a friend. And so what happened is I ended up selling that for like $700 because it was junk. So 3 cars later, 3 years later, a lot of grinding, a lot of hustling, a lot of little side things here and there. And this time I don't have the bread to fix this car that I'm in. And I don't have an option. And so long story short, I might have to go back into the workforce. And I'm dreading it. And I have to kind of put my let me turn the light on. I have to put my I gotta just put that stuff away. I'm very capable of it. Become a hollowed out bot of a human being. Admit defeat. I'm not too proud to admit defeat. But I feel like you know, in the Matrix, like I just been saying, damn, bro, you're just a slave, bro. And it doesn't look like this thing has you boxed in so crazy that you have no choice. An example is, if any of y'all have been with me for a long time, like I went on like a debunking of the jab. I know, please don't judge me, please don't hate me, because I took them all down. I don't mean to offend no one. And I went on a whole rant, and now I had to get it in order to be eligible to work again. And so all that has showed me that it doesn't matter how spiritual and how woke you are. This place is not for people like me. So the other caveat is, along with the everyman, I represent, in my mind, if any of y'all watch like Inner Standing or Seven Bomar, I represent the airy-fairy, naive slash hopeful thinking slash I'll work around the capitalist system to create my own reality, like woo-woo person. Very spiritual person. I represent that, caught up in here. And what I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna elaborate on this because I don't want the video to get too far off into woo-woo land. But I don't have. It's not that I don't have the ability to work above what is mandated on us, but the magic, the systematic way that this place is set up, it's very hard, not impossible, to overcome it. And so what am I trying to say? In this place, to be a spiritual person, you cannot disregard the economic ramifications of here. If y'all know anything about the chakra system, your root chakra has to be based and centered around the root chakra, your first one, and your tailbone is centered around matter here, the matters, the money, the taking care of self. And there's no way around it. Whoever thought of this system, and there is someone who created this in terms of you need to depend on money, transaction, in order to survive. It is unbreakable unless you are ready and willing to just live a very modest lifestyle up to and including being homeless. And I've seen this happen. I've seen this happen on YouTube. Shout out to 13 Signs Astrology. If any of y'all follow him, I watched this man who was highly spiritual and had so much information to give. Watched all of his videos. And now I mean no disrespect if you ever watch this, he's a homeless person now dealing with the matrix when you don't want to comply with their system. And if any of y'all watch it, if any of y'all watch him by any kind of chance, then y'all know what I'm talking about. In terms of like trying to go the route of sovereignty and all of this. The creators of this place, the capitalistic work structure, work to live, it's great and terrible. And I have learned in my years, even way before this, but becoming a hard reality to me that I can't break it. Because I'm not somebody that's gonna be just like, you understand? I'm not gonna be airy fairy. I need certain things. I need to know that I am an individual capable of taking care of myself in the reality. So that's what it is, y'all. I'm here. I may have to go back to a job. I've been contemplating if I do to take down my first video so that, but it got me the most views, so I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I might have to keep it up, and then that's why I'm posting this, so that if you want to get an update, and more people want updates from me than I thought would care. People are like, how are you doing and what are you doing? This is the update. And so I leave it out there in the world, in the air, that you can maybe take this as many things. Even if I do go back to work, understand that I'm still gonna be striving for as much freedom in terms of financial freedom and personal freedom that I can. This is not a giving up, but I may have to go back to work, even though I trashed it in my first video. So this video, as I said, could be interpreted as many things. It could be a cautionary tale. Maybe if you watch that and then catch up on this, you'd be like, maybe not. I am still not telling anyone, like I said in the first one, what to do. I want to make it clear, I never said for you to quit your job. I remember specifically saying that please make sure that you have money saved up. And the reason why I had lasted initially, I'm not trying to act like it lasted me to 3 years, but for the first maybe half a year, I had a little bit of money to do some things. I had a little bit of money to actually put into my first entrepreneurship venture. So if you do and you're going to try, and hopefully, trust me, I'm sending all the love and support. I hope that you try and you do way better than me. Please, just be careful, is all I'm saying. And I'm here to tell you that it's not for everybody. I can say that honestly. I'm looking into the camera and telling you, it's not for everyone. If you are, first of all, if you're lazy, not for you. If you're spiritual and airy fairy, it might not be for you unless you find something in that niche that makes you money. And so I just wanted to share with y'all. I wanted to give y'all a heartfelt update. those those lights that I showed you are there. My car cuts off when it gets too hot. I have a hybrid vehicle. I had put some money into it before. I'm not even gonna front. My family helped me put some money into it before because it has like a charcoal filter or something, and when it gets hot, the electric system, and these goddamn electric cars, bro, the electric system shuts the car off as a safety mechanism. Paid $1,500 for that, and I'm not even gonna complain. It's lasted me for maybe about close to a year. So I'm not a hater. Like, it's lasted me. And so the time has run out. And all of my hustles have kind of dried up. Any of y'all, I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling you what it is. The e-gig economy now are paying you where they would pay you sometimes $13, $14 for, I'm not even going to say the company's name, for a pickup and drop off. It's going all the way down to like $3 and $4. And a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. Uber too. And now Uber has this goddamn, in New York, they're about to scale into, because I'm signing up for Uber and Lyft next. They're about to scale into this thing in Manhattan where to get into Manhattan is gonna be a toll. 60th Street and below. $23 that you are liable to pay. And so if y'all don't know, in New York, people are up in arms, protesting left and right. And so that's another video. I really appreciate you guys listening. Here's what's gonna happen. I have to do a video a day to become a YouTube superstar. It's probably not gonna happen. Like the other hustles that I did, remember I told you I poured my heart into it? I'm gonna go ham on here. I'm gonna go ham on YouTube. If you want to follow me, I understand. We're going to be talking about weight loss, health. I put mad fingers up just now. Let's get the, and it's mad dark. Let me turn the light back on. God damn. I'm going to be talking about health, wellness, weight loss, spirituality. I'm going to keep on the back burner so that I don't lose you guys. I'm heavy into spirituality and consciousness. But the main thing, I want us to be healthy. My contribution to YouTube is to be one of the last people that will tell you the truth about things, because truth is important to me. And the last thing I'm going to say before, I know I've been saying that, it's 37 minutes. If you need to go, I understand. The last thing that I'll say is there's something to not working. Because I am the healthiest, most well-rested I've been. I've worked so hard for so long in my life. Man, when I quit and woke up that day, the next day, it was like, oh my God, I can't. To this day, I'm still like, I'm so glad that I left that place. That's how stressful it is. And y'all know, because some of y'all end up going into the psych wards and hospitals and shit because your jobs are too crazy, but you need it to pay. And I left, and I'm still more peaceful, more healthy. I come out to the park and get sun. I sleep in. I work and get up whenever the fuck I want to. And it's been a pleasure. And I now know the difference of a small insight into how y'all with, like, y'all that have the equation figured out, money and time. You motherfuckers are the ones living a dream here. You have your own business, but have it either automated or ran by other people so that you can have time. Because the trick is not to become an entrepreneur, burn all your goddamn time and money, and then you start making $100K, say, a month, but you're working fucking 18 hours a day. That's not what I wanted. So you guys that have the time-money ratio worked out, I had a small glimpse into it initially. Listen, I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope this vibes with y'all like how the first video vibed. We're going to go on a journey. It's either going to be into something turning on here on YouTube, or we're gonna watch me become homeless and broke. Thank you guys. It's the M's in the Grid channel. I hope all of you guys are in good spirits, good health, and I'll catch y'all some other time. Peace.